Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Geek Authority Show. This is a very, very special edition. Through time and space, I've got the chance to speak to some iconic, well-known people that our friend, the Doctor, has come across through space and time for a long time. And it's so exciting to meet these wonderful ladies of Doctor Who. I'm going to start with River Song. And River Song has seen many of the incarnations of the Doctor, has her favorites as such, and let's talk about that. River, can you tell us when the first time you met the Doctor?
Well, the first time I met the Doctor, well, see, our lives are backwards. We go front to back. So the first time I met him was the last time he met me. So that would indicate the 12th Doctor, but there's problems there. I love him. He's a sweetheart. Favorite husband.
Okay. How did the backwards thing happen?
Oh, goodness. That's an interesting question. How did that happen? Well, because he's a time traveler, we met out of sequence. And then because I was kidnapped and became a time traveler and was taken back to 1969, and my parents weren't even born yet. Oh, this can get complicated and can go for quite a while. But
okay.
If you read my blog.
River has a blog.
I have a blog, yes. And you watch us run. And anyway, so I was raised with my parents because they were not born when I was in New York, and Jack Harkness took care of me and brought me up some degree, and then we stole the TARDIS and tried to kill Hitler.
I do remember that adventure as well.
And
wow.
Everything kind of got wibbly wobbly from that point.
Absolutely. So Donna, how did you meet the Doctor first time?
Listen. I was bleeding getting married, and all of a sudden I found myself on this Martian ship, all right? And nobody knew where I went. I didn't know where I was. I mean, it was insane, and he himself is insane, so I should be surprised, but that's how I met him. And then I found him again later on.
What was your first impression of this Doctor?
I thought he was mad. I mean, there we are in outer space. I'm in my wedding dress. What is happening?
Okay.
And he's just like, it's no big deal. We'll just, here's a ring to biodamp. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
How funny. Okay. Your first introduction to the TARDIS, did that surprise you?
Well, I mean, it looks so mad inside, but what's crazy is it's bigger, it's bigger. And then the outside is not big. That's my impression.
Okay.
But she's a good old girl,
She is. Martha, so you're a doctor. How does a doctor meet the Doctor?
Well, it was kind of crazy, actually. We were in Mercy Hospital, and I actually met him twice, if you can believe that. The first time was as I was heading to work, and the second time was when I was at work that same day, minutes later, and he was on a gurney in a hospital bed, getting checked in. So that was my first time that I met him, and I was very confused, and I asked him, do you have a brother? It was very, very confusing.
So were you a little surprised when you ended up on the moon?
Oh, yes. And it was kind of mad, crazy, because we should have died. But we were in this bubble, and somehow the air was kept us alive, and we didn't die. And I wouldn't change that for the world. I could see the world from the moon.
Okay.
And
Let's
he
move on.
DNA transfer too.
Well, yes, there was that.
All right, let's move on to Missy. Missy, I know you have a long relationship with the doctor, several versions of him, I understand. So, when did you first meet our doctor?
Well, let's not split hairs here. Everyone says they know the doctor, but really, I'm the only one who truly knows the doctor. He's my best friend. We grew up together. We've known each other since children, and you know, I don't like sharing him, but I guess I kind of have to.
Okay, you grew up as best friends. I'm kind of getting the impression you're out to get him a little bit more than once and more than one incarnation or two or three.
Well, I can't speak for my previous forms. They're all idiots. But really, all I've been trying to do is just get him to realize that we're really alike. He really doesn't get that. And I don't know why. It's not like I haven't like thrown a bunch of stuff at him. Hello, you're just like me. You're not any different. Stop playing with the stupid humans. But, well, he doesn't get it.
Okay. I do one other thing. You have quite a few times kind of, I don't know what the word is, tried to stop him, get him out of time and space. Well, that doesn't sound like a best friend to me, a little bit.
Oh, don't you misunderstand. And that's how Time Lords play. I mean, it's just all fun. He tries to kill me. I tried to kill him. It's an ongoing thing. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk to Donna about the fact that your interactions with the doctor have been varied and adventurous, to say the least. How would you describe the doctor? His personality, his persona. What makes him? How would you describe that? And what makes him kind of interesting to you?
In a word, mental. All right. Listen, he's got his heart's in the right place, and I mean that, 2 hearts in the right place. But honestly, he just goes and goes and goes. He doesn't know how to take a break. The one time we went to a spa planet, he ends up almost killing himself again. I mean, listen, he's great, but he needs to take a break.
Okay, so you think he's a little dangerous, or?
Oh yes. If it wasn't for me, he'd end up like blowing up planets and just going mental,
Okay, River, what do you think of the doctor's personality persona, since you've seen many versions of it?
Well, in general, none of them should travel alone because they can't be trusted. And depending on 10 is difficult to deal with. He always thinks he's right, and it's always about him and his toys. 11's a little more malleable. I give my mother credit for that, even though she's not here. But, a good Scottish woman will give him a slap up the side head.
You're talking about Amy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And probably 4 is the sneakiest of them all, and clever and charming and romantic. Although 6 is pretty romantic too. But
Okay.
spoilers.
Now, Missy, got to tell me, what do you think of the doctor? How would you describe it? Well, is he the same when you grew up with him, or is he different now?
Oh, he's different now. It's really sad. He grew up to become an idiot. I don't know why. One thing I do have to give credit to my previous forms is that we all kind of just tried to, slap him out of it, but we couldn't do it. He is too caught up on these humans and saving them. And that was, come on. When we were children, he thought humans were a myth. And then all of a sudden he's trying to save them? I don't get it. I really don't.
Okay. That's the second time you kind of referenced the humans as being not up to par or not your cup of tea, so to speak.
Yes.
Why is that? What's wrong?
Well, for starters, they're inferior. They only have one heart. They have a lifespan of maybe 75 years, give or take. They're always getting themselves in trouble. They can't seem to do anything for themselves. The doctor always has to save them, and I just don't see their use.
Okay. Martha, the doctor. How would you describe his personality?
He's like Donna said, a bit mad and really rubbish as a human. He did try that one time, and didn't go well. But he's incredible. The things that I've seen him do. But yes, he is a liar. But most of all, I think he's like a lonely traveler and should not travel alone.
He has had many companions over the span of the eons, I guess. He's been traveling.
Yeah, mostly women.
He's had some kids. He's had some aliens.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Majority.
Okay, so, all right, let's start. Missy. Now, I know you have your own TARDIS, time and relative dimensions and space machine, as does the doctor. So how do you compare his TARDIS versus yours? What do you think of the TARDIS?
Well, for starters, he doesn't know how to fly the damn thing. That wheezing sound is not supposed to happen.
Okay.
So mine works. I wish I had it. Really, I did. But so I keep having to use his. And
by works, you mean the chameleon circuit changes for you? Where his is...
Oh, yes. Yeah. I don't know how he got it stuck. I don't know how he broke the damn thing. He never was really into technology. It wasn't really his thing.
Oh, okay. So, Martha, you mentioned it being, as well as Donna, the bigger, kind of taking you back as far as walking into the TARDIS. What's your impressions of his time machine?
Well, it's a wooden box with like a room just shoved in. And just like a just plain old wooden box, and bigger on the inside. I don't know how he did it. I'm baffled.
Okay.
An incredible machine.
Donna.
I mean, it is incredible. I mean, she's a very smart lady. I mean, have you seen the pool? There's like a pool inside, and it all stays flat. It doesn't go wibbly wobbly when you're flying around. It's so massive. I mean, you can get lost, and I did actually. I did. Quite a few times, but I found my way back. I'm good at finding my way back. So. But I love the TARDIS. Love it. Love to go back.
Very
Not
cool.
Though, can't
now,
go back.
River, you've seen different desktops, quote unquote, to quote the doctor. Do you have a favorite, or what's your impressions of his choices?
I really like 11's desktops the best so far, with the Gallifreyan symbols and everything, and they don't say companions' names. Trust me. I like that one the best. And then I like the secondary console room that 4 has. It's just this nice, neat little tiny, beautifully wooden looking time rotor as opposed to the big flashy lights.
Right. His reminded me of the 8th Doctor's with his kind of...
The 8th Doctor's is all right, but it looks like a big empty soundstage. But
okay. Kind of Jules Verne to me, but okay.
Space should be very spacious, but very filled. Don't like the 15th at all. But they all fly the same. It makes no difference to me. I can steal any one I want.
Okay. Yeah, I've understood that the TARDIS kind of takes him where he needs to be, not necessarily where he wants to go.
That's what he can drive.
Okay. In terms of traveling around, and Missy's touched on this a little bit, and let's start with Missy. You said you have no idea why he protects the human race so much. Literally, he's altered time, made history happen the way I guess it's supposed to, because he knows history. But Missy, why the humans? I mean,
somewhere along the line, believe me, I had nothing to do with it. He got it in his head that he wanted to be more human. It's why he keeps picking them up and taking them around everywhere, because he's hoping that by collecting them, they'll make him more like them. But I don't think it's worked. I guess all I can think of is that maybe he doesn't like being a superior being, and thus he wants to slum it.
Okay.
I think she's talking about us.
Yeah,
Martha.
yeah.
Of course
I mean,
One little DNA.
I feel like I'm honestly being attacked right now. I came here to have a good time.
I was hoping one of you ladies would kind of say something, because she's kind of, trashing the human race here. I'm one of them.
I'm not a pet.
I'm
Like
not.
what?
Martha, what do you think? Why the humans?
Well, he sees our potential. We may not be Time Lords, a little bit, pretentious in the title, but there's so much potential of what we could do, and I think he sees that, and that's why he protects us, because he appreciates our potential and he can see the good and in humanity.
Yeah, he has said that several times about we have great potential if we don't screw it up, kind of thing. Donna, what do you think?
I mean, we are kind of cute and pink, I mean, I feel like also, if you think about it, we look a lot like Time Lords. I feel like he's like, oh, you look like me instead of aliens. So, I'll take you around. Look like looking in a mirror, except,
Yeah, we don't have two hearts. We don't have plungers coming out of our nose.
No.
Or squid
We
like.
don't change our shapes and turn into different genders and all sorts of stuff. But I feel like we have our purpose and we try so hard,
Yeah, sometimes. Okay. River.
Yes. Why does he like the humans? Well, he liked my parents, but then Madame Kavarian got in there, so I don't count as human anymore. Extended lifespan, 270, looking good.
Very good. Wow. Okay, so I mean, all of you are kind of in consensus. Well, except Missy, of course. That he's pretty much here to help us out, move through time, correct our wrongs, kind of,
He tries to help. He really tries to help. He does think that the human race has a great deal of potential. And he knows very well, as does Missy, that the Time Lords were the most corrupt and really evil bunch of politicians that there were on the face of the earth. Well, on the universe, up until maybe possibly now. But not a great group of people to begin with.
You make it sound like evil's a bad thing. I mean, Queen of Evil.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, dear. I've tried to kill him how many times now? At least 3.
Okay.
By the way, pops.
Okay. Wow, that was cool. So all of you have had various lengths of times with your various encounters with the doctor, your doctor. So, Martha, what would you say is your most memorable adventure with him?
I think the DNA transfer, our first kiss. He said, think nothing of it. It really means nothing, but it meant so much to me.
What did it mean?
Well, it was the beginning of our adventure together. So the memories, I would not change that for the world.
Okay, so you're kind of fond of him.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I love him.
Oh, Donna, how about you?
Listen, he tried to mate with me, and I said, no, no, mister, not once, not one time. But he's a good mate. I'm very happy we had our time together. And
A favorite moment, though? Favorite moment? Could it be maybe remember when you caught up with him and you guys had this great
that was pretty brilliant.
nonverbal? It was awesome.
We've been investigating the same thing. He was looking into this adipose company, and I was looking into it, and we kept missing each other. And then all of a sudden, we see each other across the room, and it was both of us together. Oh, that was brilliant.
Awesome. River, what's your special favorite moment?
Oh, let's see.
Keep it PG, River.
Well,
think of the children.
Children might be watching.
yes. Well, all right.
Thanks,
So
girl.
Get demonetized.
We'll forget the picnic at Asgard, and we'll forget the fact that he forgot that we were after good old Hydroflax in the Bone Meadows, the butcher of the Bone Meadows. Forgot all about that. I would have to say probably shooting him at Lake Silencio.
Wow.
Because we set time right and he proposed.
Wow. Okay. Interesting, because you've had quite a few adventures,
Yes.
with your parents and everything. I thought, wow, okay, shooting him and then marrying him.
It's for that.
Okay, Missy. Now, you have to have a favorite moment with him, right?
Oh, I have a ton of them, but since I have to one up everybody, I'm going to not talk about my favorite adult moments, and I'm going to go back to his childhood when he actually got this wonderful book. Oh my gosh. It was every Gallifreyan child's pop-up book to nasty creatures. And it was our favorite book growing up. And I loved reading it with him because he would do all the voices. Like a creature would pop up and he would make the sound that the creature makes. And he really brought the book to life. And we had so much fun reading that book. Oh, those were good times.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, we're going to flip that around. Missy, we're going to start with you. What about the least favorite moment? When did you
Oh, that's easy. Every time he's tried to kill me.
Okay. You both kind of shoot and miss quite often.
Yes, but it's one thing for me to try and kill him. It's another thing for him to try and kill me. It's like I've lost the game, and I don't like losing.
Okay. All right. Donna, least favorite moment? Maybe your wedding he interrupted?
I mean, he did, and then I had to miss my own reception, but then I had another. Well, and then another if you're counting the library. So I've had 2 weddings since, so I guess it's all right. I mean, honestly, if I have to be completely honest with you, it would have to be when I had to go back. Not that I remember any of this, mind you, but I had to go back to Earth and end all my adventuring. Right when I just got to be, absolutely brilliant. Had to go back to Earth and get a job.
You had a slight transformation, if I remember.
I did. I had the whole universe in my head. And then he's like, nope, you can't have that. Go on, run along home.
Wow.
Get a pension.
River, you have a least favorite moment?
Oh, probably when I had to handcuff him and fry my brain in the library is probably my least favorite moment because he doesn't visit, leaves you like a book on the shelf.
Okay. Martha, least favorite experience?
I would have to say leaving was the least favorite, most difficult thing I had to do.
Leaving the TARDIS, leaving him, the adventures?
Yes, leaving the adventures and leaving the TARDIS, leaving him and moving on.
Okay. what would you say in terms of everybody's experience with the doctor? What would you say is his best qualities? Let's start with Martha again. Martha, how would you say, what are his best qualities?
Well, he's brilliant, and just
Does he communicate well with everyone?
he does and he doesn't. He bottles everything in, and it's very hard to talk to him. I had to sit down and talk to him properly and have him tell me what was wrong, because there was obviously something wrong, and then he disclosed that he was the last of his kind. So seeing the vulnerability in him was, amazing. He hadn't been able to do that.
Wow. So you opened it.
Yes.
Very cool. Okay, Donna, doctor's best qualities?
I mean, he really thinks on his feet, anytime you're in a pinch and there's trouble, he's going to think of something outside of the box. It's not going to be, he doesn't just resort to violence. I mean, he has, but it's not the first thing that he's thinking of. But I mean, he does. He thinks on his feet. Quite clever.
Missy, would you have anything nice to say about his qualities? Anything that stands out to you?
Well,
he does voices, apparently.
Oh, yes. When he's not being an idiot, he's actually one of the smartest people I know.
Okay.
I do love that he's musically inclined. And I love that I do enjoy his compassion. I just kind of wish it wasn't misplaced.
Okay, that's fair enough. River, what do you think his best qualities are?
Best qualities. He can think himself out of just about anything. He's a brilliant strategist. He keeps so much locked up in that brain that sometimes he just rambles off to create space. And he has such humanity. He believes things can be solved by discussion and they don't have to be solved through violence. He's hopeful. He's kind. And he likes to laugh.
Wow. And then Missy's not arguing with you. So
I'm sorry, got caught up in my tea. More important.
Later.
Okay, I've got one for you. His sonic screwdriver does everything but screw and screws, apparently. Although he has used it for that. Describe that device's function. Have you guys ever got to use it, or any comments on it, River? Anything?
Well, I have my own.
True.
He gave me one for Christmas, and it does all sorts of things.
So you got used to it really quick.
Yes, and I got the red settings.
Okay, Donna, have you ever played or what's your on the Sonic?
No. He said I would break it, so I wasn't allowed to play with it. But doesn't work on wood. When I was with him, it didn't work on wood. So I ended up having to kick in a door. But no, I mean it's quite handy, he ended up fixing all sorts of things, but he said no, Donna, you can't have it.
Martha?
Yeah, I've used it. It's quite handy.
You got to use it.
Yeah, when did you use it?
Oh my God.
I got to use it. He was a bit dealing with something else, and I had to help him with a mechanism. We were trying to save a spaceship from flying into a sun. They had mined the sun, and he gave me the sonic screwdriver to try to get the doors open to get to where we needed to be. And then there's other things that happened, but yeah, I did get to use it.
Did he give you instructions, or it just
worked?
Okay.
A little bit of instructions, but it was easy. to use. If once I, had it in hand, it just went.
Very cool. Missy, I know you got a Sonic. So how do you feel? Yours is very unique. But how do you like using it versus like the doctor's got his, different versions of it with the different doctors. It's gotten bigger, I guess, over time. But yours is kind of unique. Tell us about it.
Well, I believe that if you're going to have an accessory, it should be an accessory. So while he keeps insisting on this stick, it has no panache, no class. Mine, at least, is a beautiful umbrella. And I like to switch between that and my little device that destroys things. His Sonic never really destroyed things unless he mucked it up. And he broke something. But it just has no style. But really, to be fair, of the two of us, I was the one who always had the style.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, ladies. The doctor's traveled. Obviously, he's out and about, still doing his thing. Missy, I'm sure you're still dealing with the let's call it competition for now. Do you guys miss him? I mean, do you miss being with him on a regular basis? Does he touch base with any of you guys? Whoever wants to jump in.
Well, we've been corresponding via letter. I'm trying to get him to go open the Apocalypse Vault. But if you need
For
to
those who don't know, what's the Apocalypse Vault?
It's a vault that the papal mainframe has that has the actual date that the universe will end inside it.
And you want to know about that?
I want him to open it. I can't tell you why. That would be spoilers.
Okay.
But if you listen to it on Big Finish, you can find out more about the expiry date.
Okay. Okay, Donna, what about you? You miss him?
Can't say that I miss him. I can't really remember anything, to be honest. I don't usually think about him.
Okay. Martha?
I get to see him every once in a while. I'm still working for Unit and worked with Torchwood for a bit in that capacity. So, I get to see him. We touch base every once in a while when needed.
Okay. Missy?
I do miss him. Torturing a few Daleks and blowing up a few planets just isn't the same. I miss our back and forth. It's just I miss him.
I got to admit, you two are pretty witty with each other.
Oh yes, we just play off of each other so well.
Okay. Ladies, would you like to, comment on anything else that I may have not touched on, or ask each other questions? I don't know, Donna, you want Martha, River, Missy? I know, Missy, they're humans, so they might want to ask you something.
I mean, Martha Jones, I like your jacket.
Thank you.
I feel like we're matchy today.
Yes, I was going to say.
We called each other up and said, are you going to wear the coat?
Okay, Missy?
Well, I was going to say, I've made it clear how I feel about humans, but if I have to get along with them, River would be my gal because we've had such fun together. I cannot wait to do that again, really.
Oh, that would be fun, yes.
So what happened? Give us a little tease.
Well, that was that prison breakout, right?
It was.
It was much fun.
Yes, and while I'm super jealous that she actually succeeded in killing the doctor, I wanted to do it. She's just, the woman's got style, and I do like style.
Wow.
That's high praise.
It is. I mean, what do you think about River, Donna and Martha, about River actually killing the doctor?
I mean, It all worked out okay. I mean, you guys just keep coming back anyway. It's like, oh, I killed you. I'm coming back. It's no big deal, right?
Okay, Martha?
Well, I didn't know that he would regenerate, and that there were so many versions of him. So I guess it's all good as long as he can regenerate.
You lop a bit off, they come back. They're like worms.
They are like worms. But, you know, if I hadn't shot him, time would have just stopped.
I mean, we get
I
it.
tried not to, but you know, then you got to do what you got to do.
You gotta
and
do what
just
you
wait
gotta
for
do.
it. And of course, he thought it all out ahead of it.
Very cool.
Matter of fact, I had to watch myself shoot him.
That's true.
That's
Yes.
awkward.
How weird was that?
It will
Not
not
any
this
weirder
is
than
still- this is
killing
a-
yourself.
This is a PG-rated show. We will not say what Mr. Moffat said.
Who's Mr. Moffat? No, just kidding.
My biographer.
Oh, biographer. Okay,
My biographer.
okay. We'll wink, wink, wink. Okay, biographer. Ladies, I tell you, you are the ladies of Doctor Who, and it was exciting to talk to you. It was fun. It was better than I expected, especially not knowing if Missy would be okay with it, and I don't want to upset her. Are you okay, Missy?
Oh, I'm fabulous, darling.
Okay,
That's what my
cool.
teeth.
Okay, we're all good then. Ladies, I want to thank you very, very much for doing this. Donna, Martha, Missy, River, you guys are a wealth of information. Obviously, who can speak better about the Doctor than those who have actually been with the Doctor? Any final words before I push my buttons and get you back to your various universes?
Well, I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about me. I love doing it. I can do it for hours, for days. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Donna, Martha, River?
Just
And I
want to thank
have to
you.
update my diary.
If anyone needs a temp, fastest temp in Chiswick.
Okay. Martha, did you say something?
I was going to say just thank you for having us on here. And if you need a doctor, and not the doctor,
You're a real doctor, medical doctor.
I'm a real doctor. Yes.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for doing this. This is absolutely amazing. And let me see if I can get you guys back to where you belong. I got to push a few buttons. Missy might help me if I screw this up. So, okay. And